Coming up on this episode of Up for Debate, we're feeling hungry and competitive as we talk about competitive eating. We got the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest, tons of world records, and a history of competitive eating you didn't even know existed. Stick around because it's a new Up for Debate and it's going to start for you right now. This is Up for Debate, episode number 83, recorded July 6th, 2017. Eating your way to victory. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Up for Debate, the show that has a healthy appetite for good discussion. I'm Sean Jennings, joined, as always, by our own mustard belt holder, Mr. Matt Mariani. Hello, Mr.
Hey
Matt.
there. What are we eating to win today?
We're eating to win good times for all involved and everybody at home joining us. I hope you're hungry for fun times.
Indeed. I'm hungry for a great episode of Up for Debate.
Oh boy, well that's fantastic. How are things going, Matt?
Things are going just fine. Ready to dive into the whole wide world of competitive eating.
That's right, competitive eating. Many people didn't know it was a sport. Before we get into that, I want to quickly thank everybody watching us live right now on Facebook at facebook.com/upfordebatetv. We do this show sometimes on Thursdays, really at any time between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. But you should follow the page and find out when we're live. When we are live, we like your comments. You can comment on Facebook. We'll be watching. You can also call us at our phone number, which is 508-644-8324, and we'll take your comments live. Matt, as you mentioned, competitive eating. It is a sport defined by Wikipedia as an activity in which participants compete against each other to consume large quantities of food in a short time period. That's the important thing, Matt. Competitive eating is not about quantity. This is not a buffet. No, this is about speed. How much you can eat in a short amount of time.
Yeah. How much do you think you could eat in one sitting, Sean?
Of what? So let me ask you. This was so the reason there were many reasons I wanted to use this topic, but one of them was in the pre-show banter. I had the idea of just us having a conversation around, Matt. If you decided you wanted to become a competitive eater,
Yeah.
you know, it's not just hot dogs. They have competitive eating, everything from clam chowder to pizza to Twinkies to you name it. You can competitively eat it. What would be your go-to competitive eating food?
My go-to competitive eating food, if I had to compete in eating a large quantity of any food at all,
In a short amount of time, yes.
a short amount of time,
Yes. Now, fun fact while you're thinking is that most competitive eating contests typically are between 8 to 10 minutes long, though depending on the contest, it can be as short as 60 seconds or as long as 30 minutes.
hey, you know what? I'm going to go with California rolls.
What?
California rolls, the sushi.
No, I know.
That's what I would yeah. That would be. I think that's the ideal food to competitively eat. I think they go down really easy. They don't take too many bites to you can pop them right in. I think that it would be a nice contest to see how much California rolls one could eat.
Well, first of all, I am going to look up the
That
sushi.
would be the one I would choose as a food athlete, not as a spectator.
But don't you think you'd get nauseous pretty quickly on that? Like, I feel like there's not a lot of kind of
That's why I
longevity.
picked California rolls specifically. Originally, I thought just sushi in general, but the California roll is pretty basic. It just has imitation crab meat and avocado. So I don't think I don't know. I don't think that would really make me sick that quickly. I think I can down those pretty quick.
So, Matt, you'll be happy to know Tim Janis, who is a now retired former professional eater, ate 141 pieces of sushi in 6 minutes.
Okay.
Do you think you could beat
That's
that?
a lot. No, I don't. I don't think I could. I think I could try, but I do not think I could even come close.
Now, this article does not say what kind of sushi it was, but that's a lot.
All right. How about you? What food would you choose? You think?
Haggis.
Yeah,
No,
that sounds
no,
logical.
no. I'm just kidding. No, I feel like again, I'm not really an expert, so it's hard to say for honestly, I think hot dogs, I'm not going to choose it, but I think hot dogs is kind of a good way to go. They're shaped in a way that go down your throat easily. So I feel like by default you're in good shape.
Okay.
But on top of that, geez, I don't know. Maybe like burrito, maybe?
What? Burritos?
Yeah.
Why
Because
burritos?
they're basically already, I mean, they're full of beans and they're basically pre-chewed.
No, you would. No, burritos are big though. You mean like mini burrito, like taquitos?
Well, like churros.
Taquitos. Yeah, but they require just too many bites. Like you gotta pick something that's gonna go down like quick,
Matt,
like Jello or something. Jello.
the
Eating
world
contest.
record of burrito eating took place. How many burritos do you think you could eat in 8 minutes?
I would probably say like 10.
15 burritos in 8 minutes is the record held by Eric Badlands Booker.
If I really tried, I think I'd probably get. Oh God, 10 would be a stretch.
I would pay legitimate money to see you eat. That's more than one a minute, Matt.
I know. I'm thinking that now because I'm hungry.
Oh,
but
cheesecake could be easy. It's
you
dense,
would get sick of
though.
that really quick, though. Yeah, it's very dense. Very dense. The content is not there. I think you're looking for two things when you're competitively eating. You're looking for something that you can ingest quickly, and something that you like won't make you sick.
So what would be the worst thing to competitively eat?
Clam chowder. Clam chowder sounds terrible. I don't know. I don't know why that's a competitive thing. Like, because you got the dairy and you have the fish. I think it's a bad combo.
I'm gonna see if I can find the world record of.
Either worse. Or donuts. Donuts would be pretty bad too. They're very dense.
Yeah, you could do donuts.
Donuts would be very brutal.
Yeah.
How about chili? Chili would be pretty tough.
Chili. Matt, Joey Chestnut holds the record in 2016 in 6 minutes. He ate 2.25 gallons of chili.
Oh,
Gallons.
huh. I guess it won't be that. That probably wouldn't be that bad because every bite kind of tastes the same. It's basic. It's very basic. There's not a lot. It's just really just meat. So it's not like, I mean, provided that it's not spicy chili, it's just like your run of the mill chili. I think you could probably manage a lot of that.
Well, if you're going for
speed, like,
see, Matt, your gimmick could be speed. You could be the really fast guy. The world record for drinking a Slurpee, a 22-ounce Slurpee, 9 seconds.
Oh, the brain freeze.
So it's really, the problem with the competitive eating is you got to blow out the stomach, right? Because you're eating like 10 pounds of food. This is one Slurpee. You just have to drink it stupid fast.
Yeah. And get insane brain freeze.
Oh, yeah, no, that's very dangerous.
You mentioned the stomach as an organ. Obviously, the most important organ in a competition like this. I've heard it said that actually, like you think the stereotypical competitive eater would be big and fat and like, big guy. The reason that the smaller guys actually have an easier time at it, the smaller, thinner guys, is because it leaves the stomach with more room to expand. So you actually want to be more physically fit before you attempt an eating challenge, because the fat kind of gets in the way and actually is kind of like a stopper to that stuff. The stomach kind of just it won't be able to expand as much. Kind of will stay the same.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. The other big part of it is, if you're a fatter person, you probably eat a lot of food regularly, unlike most competitive eaters who just do it once in a while. And your stomach is stretched all the time instead of once in a while. Think about a balloon. If you blew it up every single day and deflated it, over time, it's not going to shrink back down and expand as you're going to lose the expandability. And it's the same idea. That's why you got to kind of train your stomach. And Matt, you may not know this. Most professional competitive eaters undergo rigorous training. Stomach elasticity is considered the key to eating success. The way you train that is by drinking large amounts of water over a short amount of time to stretch out the stomach. Some eaters also chew large amounts of gum to build jaw strength prior to the events.
Well, there you go. We have the tips of the trade right there. Why don't we go ahead and start our competitive eating event?
Ding, ding, ding.
What would you rather do? Would you rather eat competitively a lot of real food or a lot of gross food?
Well,
what I mean by gross,
yeah, give me an
like
example.
Insect. Would you eat like a lot of insects, or would you rather eat a lot of normal food?
That is so hard to say. I mean, I guess normal food. The thing about insects is they're small. They're going to be easy to put down.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to look and see. I bet there's a record for eating the most
We'll say, I mean, just specifically, how about we just go with like crickets or grasshoppers? Because that way you have to get over the fact that you're eating a bug, and two, you have to eat a lot of them.
I mean,
it's like fear factor to the max.
If you've gone ahead and made the life decision to make your career professional, competitive eater, I feel like you've already overstepped a lot of cultural norms that probably shouldn't get in the way when you go to eat crickets in large quantities. So, if you've already eaten 2.25 gallons of chili, fuck it. Just go for the bugs. That's probably...
It's a good philosophy to have. Would you rather do an eating challenge where you...
Oh, Matt, you broke up for a second there. We lost Matt. Matt. Oh boy, that's not good. All right. Shit, I hate to pause the recordings because it screws everything up. We're gonna get Matt back here in a minute, so we'll be right back. All right, and we're back with Matt, who's returned from whatever bad place he goes when the internet stops working.
Yeah, I go to the nether region. I have to fight my way out. It takes an eternity, but only 10 minutes of your time.
So. Wow, it's that bad in the negative zone, huh?
Yeah, it's like a lifetime of battling against evil monsters and demons and such.
That sounds way more interesting than this show.
Creatures of horror and myth. Yeah, I mean, someday we'll have to just broadcast from the netherworld. I mean,
that'd really juice our numbers.
Speaking of myths, Sean Jennings.
Yes.
Would you like to hear about a myth that relates to an eating, a competitive eating?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding me? For sure.
Okay. So, for those of you, I'm gonna do a little plug right now for a great book out there. It's called, I think it's just called The Norse Myths, and it's written by Neil Gaiman, the famous author Neil Gaiman. He in February came out with a collection of Norse myths, basically retelling some classic ancient Norse mythology with his own, authoritative style on it. I highly recommend it. It's a great read. My favorite story in the book is a story where Thor, the god Thor, and Marvel hero that you may recall, he travels to the house of this giant named Uthgar, and Uthgar basically challenges him and coaxes him into these trials. The first trial is actually eating. He has to do a challenge, a competitive eating challenge, where I think he has to eat like this basically this giant table's worth of food, and he can't do it, and he fails the challenge. The second challenge is he has to drink from this horn, and he tries to drink from the horn, and he fails at that challenge. And the third challenge, he has to lift a giant cat, but the cat can't be lifted, or is it a dog? Anyway, the creature can't be lifted from. And you find, and then then the last contest he has to race. He has like a race, and he loses the race. And Thor's like, I'm pathetic. I can't do any of this stuff. I'm clearly not the god that I should, that I am. I'm going to tell all the people that I'm not worthy of their worship anymore. And the giant says, well, the horn you drank out of was actually connected to the ocean. And just the fact that you were even able to drain it as much as you did, because he drained it about halfway, is still a remarkable feat. And all of the food you ate out on the table there, that was actually food that was all of the plants in the world, all of the plants and all of the animals in the world, and you were like unable to, just the fact that you ate like half of them is crazy, and still like only a god could pull that off. And the person you raced against, that person was not a person at all. It was actually thought. You raced against the embodiment of thought, and because thoughts come to us quicker than we run. Just the fact that you made it to the finish line is a accomplishment into itself.
What?
Thought. The person he was racing against was thought, like thought embodied in a body. So that actually, the reason I tell this tale, this tale of old, is because that is the first ever recorded event of an eating contest, of a contest of eating. It comes from a collection of stories known as the Poetic Edda, EDDA, and it dates all the way back to 12th century Iceland.
Wow.
So, little fun fact.
So if anyone out there says it's gross and demeaning for a human being to be stuffing food in their face, just tell them it's not a new idea.
Just like the gods of old. But yeah, did we ever hear your pick for what you would eat?
No, because I don't know if I could pick one because I'd be terrible at this. Matt, pierogies. That seems like you could stuff a lot of them pretty quick.
Yeah.
How many of those you think you could eat in 8 minutes?
They're starchy. They're very starchy. But I don't think you would get sick of them because they're, without adding anything, they're pretty bland. Like there's not really much. They're pretty neutral, I'm saying. So I think you could probably pack away a lot of them in how much time? 8 minutes?
8 minutes.
I wouldn't hesitate to say I could pack away about 40 of those. 40.
Well, Matt, number one ranked eater in the world, Joey Chestnut, back in 2014, ate 165 of them in 8 minutes. I swear to God.
Joey Chestnut, he eats won't he eat?
Apparently, he's
chili, pierogies.
He's got no limits.
Wow.
Salmon chowder. Wow. Matt, how much salmon chowder could you eat in 6 minutes?
I've actually never had salmon chowder, but that sounds fantastic.
At the Slammin' Salmon World Chowder Eating Contest.
Slammin' Salmon.
That's a thing. How about 23.4 pounds of salmon chowder? That's got to be a typo. That can't be right.
How many pounds?
23. You can't eat 23 pounds of anything.
No.
That's bigger than a baby.
So sick. Chowder,
that's a typo.
Yeah, chowder itself, just, was that also done by the one and only Joey Chestnut?
No, that was done by Bob Shrout, whoever that
Joey
is.
Joey Chestnut, eater of worlds.
Oh, how about this? Shrimp cocktail.
Okay. It would have to be completely skinned though first. Like the tail there would be like all the tails
Oh
would have to
yeah.
be chopped off.
No, I agree.
Um, and then that's a little bit of a gray area, Sean. Do you know why I think that hot dogs make the ideal eating food
Why is
for
that?
competitions? Um, there is no denying that you have finished a hot dog. If the hot dog is no longer existent, you have finished it. They're like that's it. With a shrimp, there is a lot of gray area, my friend, with how much meat is left between the tail, right? Like I think that they would have to be detailed, like the tails would all have to be removed, and I think that's just a lot of work for a contest. So I mean, also if with shrimp, like you could just grab a lot of them and just throw them in your mouth. Like you could put like 100 of them in your mouth at least. Like you could just pack them away.
Matt, world record holder Joey Chestnut in 8 minutes ate 15 pounds of shrimp cocktail.
Did he use the cocktail sauce?
I think that's optional. But you know what, Matt? You bring up an interesting point. The rules of competitive eating. I know what you're thinking. Sean, people just do this for fun. There are no rules. No, Matt. There are rules. So many rules that there are actually two competing independent competitive eating organizations who disagree with each other on the rules.
Of course.
Because you've heard of Major League Eating is the big one. They run Nathan's. But there's also All Pro Eating. The difference, Matt, is called picnicking. Are you familiar with this concept?
No, not within these rules here.
It's all about picnic style, is what it's called. All Pro Eating believes in it. Major League Eating does not. Picnic styles rule, quote, pay respect to the food and maintains the integrity and dignity and public reputation of that food item. Basically, what that means in real language is that in Major League Eating, you can dip the food in water. In All Pro Eating, you cannot. That's cheating.
Okay. I was just gonna say that must mean dipping the hot dog in water to make it slide down your gullet faster.
Yep. And famously, they do that a lot with the bread items because the bread is large. It kind of shrinks it down and makes it easier it makes it more solid.
Right.
Other rules, like I said, most contests adhere to an 8, 10, 12, or 15-minute time limit. Most contests you actually have a series of judges, but their role is to enforce the contest rules and warn eaters about infraction. They can also be called upon to count or weigh each competitor's food and certify the results prior to the winner being announced. Now, Matt, chipmunking.
Yep.
Many eaters will attempt to put as much food in their mouths as possible during the final seconds of a contest, known as chipmunking. If chipmunking is allowed in a contest, and it isn't always, eaters are given a reasonable amount of time, typically less than 2 minutes, to swallow the food or risk a deduction from their final totals. Yes, they will count that as food you did not eat.
So storing away food for later.
Yes.
That's chipmunking.
Not okay.
That is not okay in which league? Major League?
It's by contest, not by league.
Oh, okay.
So it can come and go. It just depends. As far as I know, it's more common than uncommon. So you'll see it more often. You just have to make sure you swallow it within 30 seconds or a minute. I know Nathan's hot dog, you can do it.
Okay.
There's also debris. Competitors are expected to maintain a relatively clean eating surface throughout the contest. Excess debris may result in a deduction from the eater's final total. This is why you don't see them like kind of shredding the food, because that will count against your total.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. It
certainly does. And of course, Matt, everyone knows about the famous reversal. If at any point during or immediately after the contest a competitor regurgitates any food, he or she is disqualified.
Of course.
It's known as a reversal or reversal of fortune. It may include obvious signs of vomiting as well as any small amounts of food that may fall from the mouth deemed by the judges to have come from the stomach.
Now, what are your opinions of these rules? Let's start at the top. We'll start with the
with picnicking.
We'll start with the picnicking rule.
I'm fine with, it's the same thing. Like, are you allowed to use a fork or do you have to use your hands? Like, To me, none of that really matters. As long as all the competitors have to follow the same rule, then I don't think it's like damaging the integrity of the game because you dipped your hot dog bun in water.
All right, see, I'm going to disagree with you there. I'm going to go ahead and take. I'm going to go ahead and agree with Major League Eating. I'm going to be a stickler, and I'm going to say that destroying the normal integrity of the food, kind of molds the competition. It kind of distorts. It distorts the original intent of the competition.
It's not what the founders intended.
It's not. No, I think a tried and true competition, how much of this item can you eat without messing with it? Because I could go ahead and talk to my good friend Bill Nye the Science person. All right, copyright. We can't say his real name on the air. Okay, all right, your secret's safe with me. I go to him and I get a potion. All right, and he says this potion will make all the food you eat a lot smaller so that you can ingest it quicker. If you just pour it on the food will shrink. Okay, I am therefore cheating by the rule.
Well, hang on.
Okay? Picnic rules say I would not be able to add the potion, but if you are not following picnic rule, I could add that potion, thereby cheating the game.
I don't think that's true because if all the competitors have the potion, that's like saying, it's not fair. Why is the football player wearing the helmet? They shouldn't be allowed to do that. That's destroying the integrity of the game. It's like, no, they all wear helmets, so it's equally as fair.
That's where I disagree. The helmet is a safety precaution. It's there so that the player does not sustain brain injury. It's still safe. Whether or not it's safe or not.
Well, we can talk about that.
It's a different issue, but dipping a hot dog in water is not like, it's not like you need to dip it in water or it's going to kill you. Like, you could still eat a lot of hot dogs. Definitely not as many, but like, it's not a life or death situation.
It's okay. A different analogy. It's like all the special rules that protect a quarterback from getting hit that other players don't have. How's that fair? Why can't you hit the quarterback, Matt?
Well, you know what? That's something that I disagree with.
All right.
That's something
God
that I
damn it. Son of a...
I am a big fan of what you might know as the XFL. Remember the XFL?
Oh, yeah, of course.
There were no rules protecting the quarterback there. You could do whatever you wanted with that. Like, there was even late hit, I think, was and unnecessary roughness.
And turns out, Matt, they all got hurt.
Yeah,
shocker.
Badly, yes. But that is a topic for another day. We could do a XFL AFL special.
Oh my God, yes.
Indeed. Maybe tune in next week. But that being said, I gotta go with the Major League. I'm gonna be a stickler on this. I'm gonna say Major League Eating rules: picnicking not allowed, or picnicking allowed.
Yeah, no, it's all pro is anti-picnicking.
Anti-picnicking.
So you're an all-pro guy. All right, yeah, that's.
And by the way, you can go ahead and jump on our Facebook, and we're gonna have a poll up there in a minute. You can vote on your favorite, or you can vote on who you agree with more. Whether it's me saying that the picnicking is good, and Sean saying it's not.
Can we make polls on Facebook?
I don't know. I was gonna leave that up to you.
Just say in the comments.
Anyway. If we go, or just write in the comments. That's a lot easier. I forgot our digital, the guy who does all the digital stuff, our digital intern. He's on vacation this week.
Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoying his holiday. Now, when it comes to chipmunking,
hope you're having a good holiday. By the way, Bradley.
Bradley, an undergrad at UConn.
Yeah,
majoring in communications. Nice kid.
Good kid.
He's on the tennis team.
He's going to go far. He'll go far.
Yep.
He needs to learn to get off that phone once in a while, though. Very, very, very much a millennial. He needs to get off he's always looking at the phone, and he's always on with the fidget spinners.
But you know what, Matt? He brings such a different perspective to our business. Other
than that, though, he is. He's a good kid. He's a good kid. He tries real hard.
From a nice family.
Yeah. What was the next one? What's the next
Chipmunking,
one?
Matt. Shoving food in your mouth as time is expiring.
Okay. Chipmunking. Okay. Shoving as much food as you can. All right. What are your thoughts about this rule, Sean? What do you think about it?
As long as you have 30 seconds or whatever to swallow it after time expires, I mean, I don't. Again, as long as all the competitors have to follow the same rule, I don't care what the rules are. Like, I'm not going to get, like, it can't be like Joey Chestnut gets to do it, but the other guys don't. But as long as everyone can shove a little bit of extra food in their mouth, I guess it's really just about who has bigger cheeks.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to say about that rule, the chipmunking rule. I'm going to say it would be fun to add a little element of surprise to the contest if only one person was allowed to chipmunk, but that person at the end of the match with the last two, what was it, 30 seconds? How much time did you say?
It varies by contest. Yeah.
All right, we'll say the last minute. He can chipmunk, but the whole entire time he's being tickled on his feet or her feet by one of the judges of the contest. Okay, so that way it's hard to keep all the food in his mouth and he might choke. And all right, so it adds a little bit of a challenge.
No, because what's going to happen, Matt, is you're going to get a reversal of fortune. You're going to get, it's not just what's in the cheeks that's going to come up, it's everything else, and you don't want to be near that.
I think that would add quite the spectacle. That way you have to not only be a good competitive eater, you have to be a good competitive digester as well. You have to try to control your metabolism to digest the food as quickly as possible, and you have to have a pretty high constitution, I must say. You have to have rolled a pretty high constitution to do that, to keep all that food down. So I'm going to give it a pass on this one. I don't know if I'm going to say the chipmunking rule. They have to do something crazy with it, or it's no good.
I'm like the baseball fans who are, I'm a purist of the game. Things should never change. Keep things away. No tickling. No tickling in my game.
Then you should be in favor of the picnicking rule. You should stand by picnicking.
I do stand by. I said picnicking was fine. You're the one who's anti-picnicking.
You were anti-picnicking.
No, I said it was fine as long as all the players got to do it.
No, you said that it was bad. You said that you said that they should be allowed to dip their hot dogs in water.
Yes, picnicking, allowed to do it.
No, I'm anti-picnicking.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Legacy, they've been picnicking for decades.
Wait, so when you dip the hot dog in the water, that's picnicking? I thought picnicking was maintaining the integrity of the food.
Oh, you're right, it is. Damn it, I'm mixed up. Anyway, I think they should be allowed to dip their shit in food. We have opposite opinions, put it that way.
So you are anti-picnicking.
We're overthinking this. All right, we got to continue here. Vomiting, Matt.
I'm holding you to the facts here, Sean.
No, that's please.
Hardball. No one's hardball.
No one's allowed to do that.
Hardball. Now, what was our
reversals,
last one?
Matt? Reversals.
Okay, with reversals. Explain to me what that was again.
Vomiting.
Oh yeah, okay. Why don't they just first of all just call it vomiting?
No, because it's cooler to call it a reversal.
Play with words there, like we all know what it is. All right. Yeah, this one kind of goes without saying, but again, I would say if you want, like before the match starts, you can elect to say reversal. All right, play a reversal card where you can vomit, but that counts against your score. Like that doesn't automatically necessarily disqualify you.
So they weigh the vomit and subtract that from the food you ate.
And then you have to re-eat that amount to catch up. Or you just revert to 0, but you get to start again. Like right away.
And this all happens. So when someone reversals, what do they pause the contest to weigh?
No, they just say, oh, that's going to cost them, and it subtracts.
Oh, so they have a bucket on a scale, and they vomit into the bucket, and then they go, 32 ounces. All right, bing, and then they lower their score by 32 ounces.
Translate that into however many hot dogs or oysters or whatever.
Oh, that actually, Matt, of all the crazy rule changes you suggested, actually, I think that's kind of awesome.
They probably do that, I would guess, on Japanese game shows.
Probably, they're very twisted.
That's probably where you would see that. What's the next rule?
That's pretty much all of them. Debris. Yeah. I think we're in agreement. You can't leave debris everywhere.
Um, let's see. With debris, I think that that makes sense. You don't want to leave debris. It shows that you did not, in fact, eat all the food that you were supposed to. It should count against you for sure.
Agreed.
That being said, though, it's got to be hard to judge the debris. Like what? Like so, if somebody leaves like a piece of a hot dog, does that disqualify the entire that entire hot dog? Like, will they subtract the hot dog from their score?
Yeah, they subtract. If it's like half a hot dog, they subtract half a hot
Then
dog.
they just basically say that that hot dog didn't count. Okay,
Yep.
I see.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, that's another one that's got to vary based on like the nature of the contest, food you're eating, and such. Okay.
Now, Matt, sadly, according to Wikipedia, people have actually died competitive eating. Did you know this?
I mean, people have died walking down the street.
Well, that's true. In 2012, a 32-year-old man died while eating live roaches and worms in a contest. Autopsy revealed he choked to death. In 2014, a competitive eater choked to death during a hot dog eating contest. And in this past April, 2017, a 20-year-old female student died as a result of a pancake eating contest at Sacred Heart University. That's always my fear when I'm watching people competitive eat. I'm like, this is like the worst choking hazard ever. I'm surprised this does not happen more often.
I mean, when you're swallowing all that food as fast as you can, the muscles in the esophagus can constrict very quickly. And once, I think that's why it's important to have medical staff on site.
Oh my God! Could you imagine performing the Heimlich maneuver on someone who just ate 15 pounds of shrimp?
That would be a day that you would remember probably for the rest of your life.
Incredibly disturbing.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely one of the war stories to share with your future grandkids. Getting vomited on by the competitive eater.
Now,
Who's most likely Joey Chestnut.
Probably. Well, 10-time Nathan's hot dog eating champion. They put up on ESPN a graphic comparing him to title-winning athletes across all sports.
To Tom Brady?
No, literally, no joke. The only, if I remember correctly, what was it?
Greatest of all time.
It's not Bill Waters. What's his name? The guy who won 11 NBA championships was the only one ranked above him. And everyone else was below him because he's won 10 titles in 11 years at Nathan's hot dog eating contest. So, and that's pretty impressive. And he's broken the world record like 5 or 6 times over those years. I think the first year he won it with like 56 or something, and now he's up to 73.
Wow.
I mean, Matt, what is the theoretical limit of the human body? When will it end?
It's never going to end because humans love competition.
That's
true.
Pretty
much, when you think about it, we could pretty much turn anything into a competition. I mean, I could be like, this fidget spinner of mine, I can spin it much faster than yours. By the way, this episode is brought to you by fidget spinners. Fidget spinners.
We don't need more advertising.
We don't need more fidget spinners. That's for sure. And I'm speaking for society here.
Wow.
How about raisins?
Well, I can look and see if there's a.
Do you think that would be? I mean,
record for raisins.
Do you think that would be an easy consumable for a contest?
All right, but the problem with this is the thing about competitive eating, right? Is someone has to count how much of the thing you eat, right? Because that's where the record comes from. You can't just say they ate a lot of something. It has to be
right.
How do you count the number of raisins somebody eats?
Pre-count them. So you would give them like large capsule.
But then you drop some on the floor, and
you wouldn't. You'd be really, really careful, or you would be fired. Craig, our former intern, I'm talking to you.
I thought his name was something else.
No, Bradley is the current intern.
Bradley's the current intern.
Craig
Craig.
He is the former intern. Yes. You forgot about that guy, didn't you?
Dude, he went to Arizona State, man, and he just never took the job seriously. I know it was a summer internship, but we still expect you to work.
That's right. That's right, Craig. We still
Craig.
expect you to work and show up for work.
Craig.
Get my coffee order right next time, Craig. That was the last straw. You know it.
Just because your mom works in accounting doesn't mean you don't have to do anything, Craig.
Yeah. That's right.
We need to do a whole episode where we just yell at our fake interns.
Yeah. Now, so what you would do is you would make sure that you'd have large jars with raisins in them. And like, say one jar would have, I don't know, 700 raisins in it. Okay. And it should they be, or if they're able to eat more than 700 raisins in the time limit, you have another jar all with, okay. That's a bad example.
No.
So every jar would have to have a measurable, reasonable amount.
Matt,
I'm saying
I'm on the MajorLeagueEating.com website, and they have a page of records. All the records are on a single web page.
Raisins?
No, but I'm looking. There's no M&Ms. There's no kind of food that is. No, there's nothing in that grapes. Maybe someone ate 8 pounds, 15 ounces of grapes in 10 minutes. But
what about candy? Like candy, there should be a competitive candy eating.
Cupcakes.
That actually could get dangerous because I don't know if the body can produce
chocolate. 1 pound, 15.5 ounces of Chicago chocolate hearts eaten in 7 minutes.
What are Chicago
chocolate hearts? I have it.
What is that?
I'm gonna Google that. That's a good one. I guess they're just like solid chocolate hearts.
Those really crappy chalky hearts that you get on Valentine's Day.
I'd watch somebody competitively eat those. That might kill you. That literally might kill you.
Yeah. I think you would. Isn't there something? It's like the same reason you can't eat like a whole pack of saltines, a whole box of saltines.
Well, you can't chug a whole gallon of milk.
Yeah, or chug a whole gallon of milk. It's because the body is just not ready for it.
Birthday cake. Matt Stoney ate 14.5 pounds of birthday cake in 8 minutes.
Wow. Now, was it ice cream cake or was it
just regular cake? I don't know if there's I didn't see ice cream. Oh, ice cream. 1 gallon, 9 ounces in 12 minutes. That actually doesn't seem very fast. A gallon are like the big giant tubs that they have at like.
I'm talking about milk? That's because
ice cream.
Oh, yeah, well, I think it's the same principle as milk. I mean, it's dairy. Like
12 minutes though.
To do it, to digest it.
Joey,
how much pizza on the list?
It is. First, though, I was going to say ice cream sandwiches, 25 and a quarter in 6 minutes by Joey Chestnut. In terms of pizza, let's see, 7.5 extra large pizza slices coming out of a 24-inch pizza in 15 minutes. God, that record also seems terrible.
Yeah. That's well, I think anything with dairy. I think we're seeing a consistent pattern with dairy here.
If there's any cheese.
It's hard to consume large amounts of dairy in a given time limit. The body just has limitations, Sean, that we cannot overcome at this stage.
Matt, how many sticks of butter could you eat in 5 minutes? And I do want to see this. I want to be very clear. I want to see this. This seems like exactly the kind of thing I could have convinced you to do in Gartland in college.
Okay, this would be the most entertaining, I think, of anything we've mentioned to watch somebody do, to watch somebody consume. Mm-hmm. It would be very entertaining to see this. I would probably never want to touch butter again after it, but that would be a really fun, because it's slippery too, right? So it'll like slide all over the place.
In 5 minutes. 5 minutes. How many sticks of butter could you eat?
5 minutes. Probably like I would say like 3.
Well, then you won't beat Don Lerman, who ate 7 sticks of butter. I don't think I could eat one in 30 minutes.
Ooh, yeah, that's more. That's like 1.5 sticks per minute.
That's messed up.
A lot. That's gross.
Who are these people, Matt?
Yeah.
And how
these
did
are
they get into this?
competitive eating champions?
Joey Chestnut, 141 hard-boiled eggs in 8 minutes. That's a choking hazard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. Oof. I think if I had to choose any variety of egg to eat for a contest, I would go the deviled route. Deviled egg.
A little pepper on there.
Yeah. Deviled eggs are good.
Oh, well, here's your dairy theory. Frozen yogurt, 10.5 pounds in 6 minutes. Matt Stoney.
Has Matt Stoney and Joey Chestnut, have they ever competed against each other?
Yes, often. In fact, I'm going to double check this because I want to make sure I get it right.
Record holder.
So remember how I said he won 10 out of 11? Starting in 2007, he beat Kobayashi.
Was Stoney the one who upset him?
In 2015, he lost to Matt Stoney.
Nice.
It was a very hot day. Chestnut ate 60 hot dogs, but Stoney ate 62, ending Chestnut's 8-year run as champion. And Stoney has since kind of fallen off a little bit.
Fun fact about Joey Chestnut is that he's actually a construction engineer. That is his profession. So he's not a professional competitive eater. He does not.
Oh, a lot of them. I think it's one of those sports where only the top 3, only very few get to do it as a full career. One of the top 4, I think the 4th ranked guy in the world in hot dog eating is a high school teacher. So, Matt, if you're looking for a side career.
Yeah. Sounds good. I'll have all summer to train.
Get ready, drink a lot of water, really stretch out that stomach.
Yeah. Chew a lot of gum.
I think you should do it. And here you go. Maine lobster, 44 Maine lobsters, 11.3 pounds of meat in 12 minutes. Now,
be careful. Are these lobsters pre-shelled?
No, this is from the shell.
Okay. From the shell.
I don't even know how you could crack open 44 in 12 minutes.
Lobster would be iffy, though, because there's a lot of times when you encounter a lobster and, you leave some meat in there. But on the other hand, it takes a great amount of technique. I do admire that because I honestly can't shell a lobster for my life. I've only had to do it once. So you have to hone a completely different skill to be competitive in that market, in that category.
Well, Matt, we are just about out of time, so I'm going to leave you with one more record off the list here. Oleg Zorninsky, in 8 minutes, ate 4 32-ounce bowls of mayonnaise.
When you get into the condiments, that's where it gets gross.
Mayonnaise.
That's where it gets gross for me.
That's 2 pounds, Matt. No, wait a second. That's 8 pounds of mayonnaise, Matt. 8 pounds of mayonnaise.
That's a lot of mayonnaise.
You're more mayonnaise than man at that point.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
It is disgusting. All right, Matt, we are out of time. Any last thoughts on competitive eating? Are you ready to begin your career?
I think we have the knowledge now to proceed.
To never ever do it. We've come to the conclusion that it's a stupid fucking idea and that we should not do it.
Yeah. That's pretty much
smart, guys. Now, Matt, before we go for this evening, I do want to remind everybody, we haven't done an update on this show for a while. Our Summer Movie League, we're in the thick of it. We're past the halfway point, if you can believe it. We're in the back third of the contest. And Matt, good news. Guess who's in first place?
It's still me?
It's you.
Wow.
Would you have ever imagined in your wildest dreams that Wonder Woman would have made $354 million and be the second highest grossing movie of the summer?
What I was putting all my cards on the table for Wonder Woman. I gotta say, I knew it would be my most successful of all the movie franchises. I did not think it was going to carry me to victory, or at least on the road to victory. I really thought that there would be better showings from other movies out there, like
It's been a rough summer.
Yeah, like the Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought that was just going to take the cake.
Well, Guardians is just shy of 400, so
What
Guardians did
else?
okay. But you got to look at all of the big Alien Covenant crash and burn. Captain
Yeah.
Underpants crash and burn. The Mummy crash and burn. Cars 3 disappointing. Despicable Me disappointing. And those minions usually print money. Transformers disappointing. Actually, Pirates of the Caribbean was one of the few kind of surprises
Yeah. It was an interesting summer for sure.
so far. And this weekend we got a giant movie opening, Spider-Man: Homecoming. I think it's Phil's really only shot to. He's in last place right now, but he's got Spider-Man and War for the Planet of the Apes. So it's this is not certain at all, Matt. I would say because you're done. You're out of movies.
I'm out. Yep.
You've got Sarah still has Emoji Movie, which if it can make 100 million, she's right in competition with you. Colby's got Valerian and the City of Thousand of Planets, ? Dark Tower for Mike, ? Dan, he's out of it. I think it's going to be you, Phil, and Sarah here at the back stretch.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see we'll have to see what those movies do.
All I know is, just based on what we've seen this summer, the only thing making money, large current franchises and superhero franchises. Spider-Man is going to make so much money. It's going to be stupid how much money it makes. And that's going to do wonders for Phil.
Probably.
So that's my only thought. Does it hit 300, 350? I don't know if it passes Guardians, but damn, it'll be up there. So, but you can follow along all summer on our website at upfordebate.tv/movies. And of course, I do the audio update every week on the radio, Coffee and Beer Radio, which you can find in most major podcast apps, and on Anchor at anchor.fm/coffee and beer. Now, Matt, this show, I bet you knew this, Matt. We have a website, coffeeandbeer.tv. People can go there. They can get all the past episodes, audio, video, the whole 9 yards, get caught up on all the past things we've talked about. And of course, you can click the subscribe button and find all the places you can follow this show, including the video version on YouTube, which is crisp, looks good HD. And of course, the audio version on SoundCloud, on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, and all the major podcasting apps. You can get it there. And of course, you can contact us at Up for Debate TV on Twitter, Facebook.com/Up for Debate TV. And if you like us there, you'll find out when we go live Thursday nights to record the show. And Up for Debate TV at gmail.com is our email address. Matt, I think that's everything. Is that fair?
I think that just about covers it.
Wow, that was a lot. But that's it. We're done. We're going to let y'all go. Have a great weekend. On behalf of Matt, this is Sean, thanking you as always for joining us, and hoping we'll see you next time for more great discussion here on another Up for Debate.